Sometimes we do get, like, terrible stories. So, like,
Yeah.
don't tell that on television.
Well, that is fascinating because I will say...
Graham Norton has finally unleashed some jaw-dropping truths about 7 guests from his show's so-called golden era. The very same stars who secretly made his life a nightmare behind the scenes. For years, fans kept pushing him with the big question, who was the absolute worst guest? But Graham stayed smooth, dodging names and keeping it classy because he did not want public drama blowing up everywhere. Now, the silence is over. He is done protecting reputations and ready to expose exactly which celebrities turned his famous red couch into a stress zone. Over the years, Norton has faced hundreds of A-list actors, singers, and headline makers on his legendary talk show. The program became iconic for its mix of sharp humor, relaxed vibes, and those wild, viral moments people still replay online. Graham has a rare gift. He can take the stiffest celebrity and somehow get them laughing, sharing secrets and dropping stories they probably did not plan to tell. That charm is why audiences across the globe stay hooked. People do not just tune in for jokes. They watch for those shocking confessions and unpredictable moments that make every episode feel electric. But let's be honest, not every star walked in ready to play nice. Some arrived with frosty energy, acting distant, bored, or too important to even try.
In my head, when I think of famous people and the most embarrassing story they've told on a chat show, it's always on yours.
Yeah, but I think that is because of the other guests. They're trying to outdo each other.
What was supposed to be a fun, easy chat sometimes turned into uncomfortable silence and forced laughs. You could feel the tension through the screen. Over time, Graham casually hinted that a few big names seriously tested his patience. Every now and then, he would admit certain interviews were harder than they looked. Now he is pulling back the curtain completely. At 62, Graham is not interested in sugarcoating anything. He is naming the 6 celebrities who made him regret sending that booking invite. And he is explaining exactly what went wrong during those painful interviews. Some of these reasons are shocking, and a few might totally change how you see those stars. The red couch may look cozy, but for Graham, some nights felt like pure survival mode. Before the fame, before the glittering studio lights, there was Graham William Walker. Born on April 4th, 1963 in Clondalkin, Dublin, he later grew up in Bandon, County Cork. His father, Billy Walker, worked selling products for Guinness, while his mother, Rhoda, was a school teacher. Even as a kid, Graham had that spark. He was quick-witted, curious, and always ready with a clever comment. Making people laugh was not just something he liked, it was something he needed to do. At Bandon Grammar School, it became obvious he had serious storytelling skills. He might have seemed quiet at first, but once he got comfortable, he owned the room with humor and charm. After finishing school, he studied English and French at University College Cork. On paper, it looked like a solid plan, but deep down, his focus was not on essays or exams. It was on the spotlight. Then came the bold move that changed everything. Graham dropped out before finishing his degree and headed straight to London to chase his entertainment dream. It was not glamorous at the start. He worked random jobs, struggled financially, and pushed himself through training at the Central School of Speech and Drama. The grind was real. But those tough years sharpened his wit and built the resilience that would later define his career. After wrapping up his drama training, Graham jumped straight into London's comedy scene, grinding it out in tiny clubs and offbeat theaters scattered across the city. Those early years were no joke, a chaotic mix of bad gigs, surprise wins, and serious learning curves. Some nights the crowd barely reacted, other nights they roared. But every awkward pause and failed punchline sharpened his timing. He crafted a style built on smart jokes, playful self-mockery, and a warm vibe that made people feel in on it.
Kind of like, Jesus Christ, I have a funny story. I myself.
That mix became his signature move. Then everything flipped. In the early 90s, his sharp tongue and fearless humor started turning heads. By 1996, he caught a major opportunity, stepping in as a temporary host on Channel 5's Jack Doherty Show. What was meant to be short-term turned into a breakout moment. Viewers instantly clicked with his quick comebacks, sly grin, and relaxed confidence. Producers saw it too. Suddenly, Graham was not just another comic on the circuit, he was the guy people wanted on screen. 2 years later, in 1998, so Graham Norton launched on Channel 4, and it exploded. This was not some polite, predictable talk show. It was bold, mischievous, and completely unpredictable. Celebrities showed up expecting a standard interview and walked straight into playful chaos. Wild audience games, unexpected questions, and spontaneous laughs made every episode feel alive. You never knew what was coming next, and that was the magic. The momentum kept building. His charm and razor-sharp timing did more than win ratings. They earned him multiple BAFTA awards. Then came V. Graham Norton, which pushed things even further. He had this rare skill of turning stiff moments into comedy highlights. If a guest froze up, he would slide in with a joke. If the vibe dipped, he flipped it around in seconds. Somehow, he made famous faces open up and share stories they would never reveal anywhere else. In 2007, the BBC made a power move that changed the game. They handed him his own primetime platform, The Graham Norton Show. It debuted on BBC Two before moving to BBC One, where it grew into a global hit.
And also, it is funny to say something really rude in front of Dame Judi Dench or something.
And I do believe she is a perfect example. She knows the role she plays.
Yes.
Instead of stiff, one-on-one interviews, Graham packed multiple celebrities onto one couch. That simple twist sparked unpredictable chemistry, unexpected jokes, playful teasing, and moments nobody could script. It felt natural, messy, and wildly entertaining all at once. And he did not stop there. Graham went on to host huge events like the Eurovision Song Contest, BBC's New Year's Eve specials, and even fronted his own radio show on Virgin Radio. Whether it was live television or a studio mic, his energy stayed magnetic. He made it look effortless every time. His journey proves that staying authentic, pushing through setbacks, and knowing exactly when to land a joke can turn a struggling performer into a global icon. But even icons have breaking points. Behind that famous red couch, not every guest played along. Now Graham is calling out the 5 celebrities who seriously pushed his patience to the edge. Number 1, Mickey Rourke. When Mickey Rourke appeared on The Graham Norton Show, the mood shifted fast. That couch is usually buzzing with laughter and playful banter, but that night felt different. From the second he sat down, Rourke seemed distant. His replies were short. His tone barely moved. Eye contact? Almost none. It felt like the energy drained right out of the room. Graham tried everything. He tossed in jokes, nudged the conversation forward, and gave him chances to open up. But Rourke kept his answers clipped and hard to follow. At times, Graham had to ask the same thing in different ways just to keep the chat moving. The pauses stretched out. The tension built. Even the audience could feel it. For a host known for turning awkward into iconic, this was one of those rare nights where the magic just would not spark. It was not just about what Mickey Rourke said. It was the whole attitude he brought with him. He leaned back in his seat like he was counting the seconds until it was over, barely made eye contact, and moved like he did not even want to be there. The sparkle that usually lights up the red couch, gone. Graham had to step up and carry the entire segment on his own, talking more than usual just to crush those painful silences. What should have been a fun, easygoing chat turned into one of the most uncomfortable interviews the show has ever seen. You could feel the tension hanging in the air. Later on, even Graham admitted it was one of the toughest interviews of his career. Number 2, Mark Wahlberg. Now this moment, legendary, but not in a good way. Mark Wahlberg's 2013 appearance is still talked about as one of the most chaotic episodes ever aired. Viewers expected smooth confidence and cool movie star energy. Instead, they got total disorder. Unlike Rourke, Mark was not cold or distant. He came in with sky-high energy, but it quickly became clear something was off. From the second he joined Graham and Sarah Silverman on the couch, he seemed overly excited and unfocused. His volume was up, his timing was all over the place, and he kept cutting people off mid-sentence. The vibe shifted fast. At first, it looked like playful fun, but within minutes, the interruptions kept stacking up. Graham tried to guide the conversation back on track, tossing in jokes and steering the chat, but Mark kept jumping in with random comments. Sarah Silverman looked caught off guard, trying to react while the moment spiraled. The structure of the show started slipping right through Graham's fingers. Then came the headline moment. Mark suddenly climbed onto Graham's lap, wrapped an arm around him, and launched into a string of messy, slurred jokes that left the room stunned. The audience froze between laughter and second-hand embarrassment. Graham kept that professional smile locked in place, but you could see the strain behind it. He was working overtime to keep the show from falling apart. Even Sarah, known for bold humor, seemed unsure how to handle the chaos unfolding beside her. It stopped feeling like a talk show and started feeling like damage control. Afterward, Graham did not sugarcoat it. He later said, he was just out of it. I mean, really out of it. That quote said everything. Viewers were split down the middle. Some called it so bad, it's entertaining, replaying clips like it was reality TV gold. Others could barely watch, saying the awkwardness was too much. No matter which side people picked, one thing was clear. That episode became unforgettable, not because of clever jokes, but because of how quickly things slid off track. Later on, Wahlberg laughed it off, admitting he had a few drinks before filming and may have enjoyed himself a bit too much. But the damage was done. That night became a wild reminder that even the most polished stars can shake up a live studio in seconds, and for Graham, it was one of those nights where charm alone was not enough to keep full control. Number 3, Robert De Niro. Now this challenge came in a totally different form. Robert De Niro, Hollywood heavyweight, award-winning icon, serious acting legend, has a reputation for being extremely reserved in interviews. And when he appeared on the Graham Norton Show, that reputation showed up right with him. The second he sat down on that famous red couch, the energy shifted. There was no drama, no chaos, no wild behavior. Instead, there was calm, very calm. De Niro's presence felt cool and controlled, almost guarded. While other guests lean in, laugh loudly, and swap stories, he kept everything tight and measured. His responses were short, thoughtful, yes, but brief. Graham would toss him an open question, hoping for a big story, and get just a few careful words in return. No extra details, no playful side comments, just straight answers. It left Graham hustling to stretch the conversation, digging for something to spark. Graham Norton is known for pulling stories out of even the shyest stars, but with Robert De Niro, he had to seriously hustle just to keep the conversation alive. De Niro would give a small nod, maybe a tight smile, then offer a few carefully picked words, and stop right there. No extra detail, no playful follow-up, just calm, controlled answers. You could almost see Graham calculating his next move in real time. The show's usual quick-fire rhythm slowed way down, that electric back-and-forth energy. It hit cruise control. Graham tried everything in his toolkit, light jokes, relaxed questions, even a few cheeky comments to spark something. But De Niro stayed steady, composed, and completely unreadable. It was like trying to crack a safe with a feather. At one point, the difference in energy became impossible to ignore. Graham laughed and said, "This is hard work, Robert." That line landed because it was honest. You could hear the effort behind the humor. For a host who can juggle loud personalities and wild moments without breaking a sweat, this was a real test of timing and patience. Still, even without big laughs, people could not look away. There was something gripping about it. Instead of chaos or viral madness, viewers got to watch a screen legend sit there quietly, revealing his true, guarded self. No flashy performance, no over-the-top charm. Just De Niro being De Niro. By the end, the episode had a different kind of weight. It was not explosive. It was not outrageous. It was subtle and intense in its own way. Fans walked away feeling like they had seen a rare side of him, a thoughtful, private presence that does not bend for entertainment. It proved that sometimes tension can be just as powerful as comedy. Number 4, Kevin Costner. Now, Kevin Costner's appearance did not blow up with scandal or wild behavior. It was awkward in a quieter way. The Graham Norton Show runs on fast jokes, playful teasing, and bold reactions. Costner, on the other hand, brought calm, steady energy that barely shifted. He was polite, he was professional, but he was almost too serious for the room. Graham tossed out his usual clever one-liners and playful nudges, expecting that fun back-and-forth spark. Instead, Costner responded with straight answers and composed expressions, like he was locked into interview mode. The rhythm that makes the red couch famous, the quick exchanges, the shared laughs, just did not click. There was no drama, no meltdown, just long beats between jokes that felt heavier than usual. The audience sensed it right away. Graham had to lean in harder, adding extra humor and steering the chat with more energy than normal just to keep the momentum from slipping. It became clear that while Costner's cool movie star presence works perfectly on the big screen, the fast, cheeky chaos of this show was not his natural zone. And to be fair, not every celebrity connects with that style. Graham has openly said, "Some people just aren't made for this format. They don't get it, and that's fine, but it can make for a very long show." That line fits this moment exactly. Costner's quiet confidence was strong, no doubt about it. But on a stage built for playful madness, that steady seriousness created a strange contrast. It felt like two different tempos playing at once, one calm and grounded, the other loud and lively. The result was not explosive or headline-grabbing. It was simply offbeat. Number 5, Harvey Weinstein. Before his dramatic downfall and the disturbing revelations that later shook Hollywood, Harvey Weinstein once appeared on The Graham Norton Show, an episode that now feels deeply uncomfortable in hindsight. At the time, he was still seen as one of the most powerful producers in the industry. His name alone carried serious influence. But even back then, there were quiet whispers about his controlling style and dominating presence. The second he stepped onto the set, the mood shifted. The usual playful spark in the studio dimmed. The atmosphere felt heavier, tighter. Graham is known for reading a room fast, and you could tell he sensed something was not quite right. Weinstein repeatedly interrupted conversations, not just cutting off Graham, but also speaking over fellow guests. He kept redirecting attention back to himself, listing achievements and reminding everyone of his status. The balance of the couch tilted. Instead of a shared, lively exchange, it started feeling like a one-man spotlight. That confident swagger quickly turned into something overbearing. The easy rhythm that defines the show, quick jokes, shared laughs, relaxed chemistry, struggled to survive. Graham stayed professional, of course. He smiled, nodded, and tried steering the discussion back to a group dynamic. But you could see the extra effort behind it. He worked harder than usual to spread the conversation evenly and keep the vibe from sinking. It was subtle, but noticeable. Years later, after serious allegations of misconduct became public and led to criminal convictions, that old interview took on a completely different tone. Looking back, Graham reflected on it with new clarity. He admitted, "I had no idea at the time, but looking back, it all starts to make sense." That quote hits differently now. What once seemed like simple arrogance now feels like an early warning sign. The polished public image, the industry power, the confident smile, it all masked something far darker. Watching that episode today feels unsettling, like seeing a puzzle piece that did not fit, but no one fully understood yet. It remains one of those moments frozen in time, impossible to separate from what later came to light. Number 6, Daryl Hannah. Now this one was not about ego or dominance. It was about silence so loud it echoed. Over the years, Graham has faced every type of personality imaginable. But when he is asked about the most difficult guest he ever interviewed, one name keeps resurfacing: Daryl Hannah. Unlike the high-energy guests who take over the couch, Daryl's challenge was the total opposite. She barely engaged. Graham later described the interview as one of the most painful of his career, and watching it back makes that comment crystal clear. Her answers were incredibly short. Sometimes just one word, no extra detail, no playful bounce, just stop. And those pauses? Long, heavy, uncomfortable. The kind of silences that stretch on while everyone waits for something, anything to spark. It did not come across as openly rude. It felt more like she simply did not want to be there. Graham tried every trick in his playbook. He cracked jokes. He shifted topics. He tossed out lighthearted prompts. He flashed that famous grin. Nothing landed. The energy in the room dropped so low it almost felt like the air had thinned out. At one point, the disconnect became impossible to ignore. Later, Graham admitted it felt as though she had been forced to appear on the show. That is a tough situation for any host, especially one who thrives on natural chemistry and quick wit. Unlike other reserved guests who at least attempt to meet him halfway, Daryl seemed completely checked out. It was like she wanted to fade into the background and disappear from the red couch altogether. Every effort Graham made to lift the mood just floated away unanswered. What should have been a relaxed, feel-good segment slowly turned into a tense waiting game. The audience sensed it. Graham felt it. Even viewers at home could see the struggle. For a show built on laughter and shared energy, that kind of silence can feel louder than chaos. For Graham, that interview was not just an awkward hour. It turned into a full-on masterclass in survival. When a guest refuses to engage, there is nowhere to hide, no script to lean on, no edit button to save the day. It is live, it is raw, and the pressure is real. That moment reminded him just how brutal hosting can get when the chemistry simply is not there. But here is what makes Graham Norton's confessions about these difficult guests so gripping. It is not just celebrity gossip. It is a peek behind the curtain at the skill it takes to run that couch. Over decades in front of the cameras, Graham has sharpened an instinct for reading the room. He can feel a shift in energy within seconds. He adjusts his tone, pivots the topic, throws in humor, or slows things down when needed. It looks effortless, but it is serious craft. And those 6 guests, they pushed that craft to the limit. Not every star is built for a talk show spotlight. Some actors are magnetic on screen, transforming into unforgettable characters. But take away the script, the director, and the retakes, and suddenly they freeze. Sitting under bright lights with nothing but conversation can be terrifying. Others swing too far the other way. Instead of freezing, they flood the stage with chaotic energy, overpowering the flow instead of joining it. And then you have guests who treat interviews like a task to get through, counting the minutes instead of connecting with the moment. What separates Graham from the pack is simple. He does not let awkwardness win. For every tense Daryl Hannah exchange or slow burn De Niro chat, there are countless episodes packed with electric chemistry. When the mix is right, that couch becomes magic. His signature move, placing multiple celebrities side by side, works like insurance. If one guest pulls back, another leans in. If someone goes quiet, someone else jumps in with a story. The energy balances itself. And here is the clever twist. Graham never pretends awkwardness is not happening. He leans into it. A quick side glance at the camera, a raised eyebrow, a playful line like, well, this is going smoothly. Suddenly, the tension flips into comedy. The audience feels included instead of uncomfortable. That self-awareness is his secret weapon. He does not chase perfection. He embraces reality. After hearing about his toughest bookings, it is worth remembering why Graham Norton still dominates the talk show game. While some programs fade, rebrand, or struggle to stay relevant, the Graham Norton Show keeps pulling in massive audiences year after year, and it is not by playing it safe. The vibe is loose, it is lively. It feels like a party more than a press tour stop. Unlike many American late-night formats that stick to neat one-on-one interviews and tightly scripted beats, Graham tosses everyone together on one couch. Add a relaxed atmosphere and sometimes a drink in hand, and walls start coming down. That setup invites real reactions, unscripted jokes, and moments that feel human instead of rehearsed. Graham's real genius lives in the balance between cheeky and kind. He knows how to tease without crossing the line. He can toss out a bold question, but he wraps it in warmth. That grin softens the edge every time. His laugh pulls people in. His curiosity feels natural, not forced. Even guarded celebrities often end up revealing more than they expected, because the space feels safe, not hostile. The magic of the show is in that balance between control and chaos. Yes, Graham steers the conversation. He keeps the structure tight. But when something spontaneous sparks, he lets it breathe. He does not shut down the unexpected. He rides it. Some of the most viral moments in talk show history were not planned at all. They happened because two celebrities met for the first time on that red couch and instantly clicked, or hilariously clashed. Those unscripted reactions, those bursts of laughter, those wide-eyed surprises, that is the heartbeat of the show. At the end of the day, Graham Norton's legacy is not just about who tested his patience. It is about how he handled it. Even when the vibe turned icy, chaotic, or painfully silent, he stayed sharp, self-aware, and in control. That is not luck, that is skill. Those tough guest moments, they turned into straight-up life lessons, not just for Graham, but for everyone watching at home. They prove one simple truth. Fame does not equal personality. Just because someone dominates the big screen does not mean they will shine in a laid-back conversation. Some stars are flawless when they have a script and a director guiding every move, but take that away, sit them on a couch, and suddenly the sparkle fades. It is wild to see. Actors who command millions at the box office can freeze under basic questions about their own work. Others look magnetic in films but struggle to connect when the moment is unscripted. And then there are those who bring energy that is just too much, flipping a smooth interview into total chaos. It is unpredictable every single time. And honestly, there is something real about watching even a seasoned pro like Graham hit a wall sometimes. It humanizes everything. Behind the lights, the applause, and the glossy set, it is still just people trying to talk. Sometimes the chemistry clicks instantly. Other times it crashes and burns. That is life. The fact that Graham is finally comfortable naming names after years of politely dodging the worst guest question says a lot about where he stands now. Early in his career, staying neutral made sense. Keep it smooth, protect relationships, stay diplomatic. But now, he has built an empire. He is secure enough to speak honestly without worrying about backlash. And let's be real, there is a subtle message in there too. If you step onto that red couch, be ready to engage, be ready to laugh, be ready to play along, because if you show up cold, distant, or chaotic, people will notice. And years later, your name might still pop up in these conversations. Even with those awkward chapters, the Graham Norton Show remains essential viewing across the globe. Every episode brings a fresh mix of personalities, sometimes explosive, sometimes unexpected, always interesting. That unpredictability is the hook. You never know whether you are about to witness smooth magic or a slow burn tension fest. Now 62, Graham has not lost a step. His timing is still razor sharp. His comebacks land clean. His laugh still fills the studio. You can see he genuinely enjoys the job, and that energy spreads through the room. Even when he is handling a guest who seems checked out or offbeat, he keeps the ship steady. He has built more than just a talk show. He has built a whole vibe, a brand rooted in humor, honesty, and a relaxed atmosphere that makes audiences feel like they are sitting right there on the couch. That formula, multiple guests, shared space, loose structure, creates moments that feel spontaneous instead of staged, and that is rare. So next time you watch a perfectly smooth celebrity interview, pause for a second and think about the skill behind it. The quick pivots, the subtle steering, the instant recovery when something goes sideways. It may look effortless, but it takes serious instinct and experience to make it flow that way. And here is the fun twist. Those awkward interviews we talked about, they are now part of the show's legend. Fans still replay Mark Wahlberg's chaotic night. They still debate what was going through Mickey Rourke's mind. They still wonder what could have helped Daryl Hannah loosen up. In a strange way, those uncomfortable moments became just as iconic as the funniest ones. Graham Norton's honesty about his toughest guests does not weaken his legacy. It actually makes it stronger. After thousands of interviews, the fact that he can count the truly difficult ones on one hand says everything about his skill, patience, and sharp instincts. Those 6 names, Mickey Rourke, Mark Wahlberg, Robert De Niro, Kevin Costner, Harvey Weinstein, and Daryl Hannah, are rare bumps in a career packed with iconic moments and smooth, unforgettable television. These were the nights when the usual formula just did not click, when the wit, the warmth, and that famous Norton sparkle could not fully lift the mood. Even a host at the top of his game can run into moments where the chemistry stalls or the energy flips sideways. And that is what makes his story feel real. He is not pretending every episode was perfect. He is showing that even legends get tested. But here is the key difference. He never lets those awkward nights define him. He shrugs it off, reflects on it, and keeps pushing forward. That resilience is powerful. Mix that with humor, quick thinking, and genuine kindness, and you get a host who has lasted decades in one of the toughest jobs on television. That is why audiences keep coming back year after year. Now it is your turn. What do you think about Graham Norton's most difficult guests? Have you watched any of those famously tense interviews? Which one do you think would have been the hardest to handle if you were sitting in his chair under those bright studio lights? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear it all. Tell us your favorite Graham moments too. The hilarious ones, the awkward ones, the ones that made you pause and say, did that really just happen? If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of television's most iconic talk shows, show some love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss the next breakdown. We have more celebrity drama, behind-the-scenes stories, and unforgettable TV moments coming your way. And trust me, you do not want to miss them. Whether you have followed the Graham Norton Show for years or you are just now discovering the magic of that red couch, there is always something new to appreciate. From wild, laugh-out-loud highs to those painfully quiet pauses that make the whole room tense up. It is all part of the ride. That mix of smooth and messy, polished and unpredictable is exactly what keeps the show alive. The beauty of it all, even the uncomfortable interviews have become part of the legend. Fans still replay Mark Wahlberg's chaotic energy. They still analyze Mickey Rourke's moody silence. They still debate what might have helped Daryl Hannah relax. Those imperfect moments did not damage the show. They added layers to it. They made it human. Because here is the truth. Great television is not about being flawless every second. It is about how you handle it when things wobble. And Graham has proven again and again that he knows how to steady the stage when it starts to shake. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more shocking celebrity stories, untold talk show secrets, and behind-the-scenes drama that will leave you speechless. We will see you in the next video.